I'm going to go over our setup of our firing system for our Battle Creek show. We've wired all of the modules. We are using wireless, so in this case we have a wireless radio that is attached to the controller, and it's communicating with all the modules to other radios that are out in the field. So this is the initial screen that you will see, and what we want to do is we want to load the script first. So we have the script on a USB drive, so we are going to take the cap off of the USB port. We're going to insert the script, or the USB that has a script. You'll see a little message that says scanning, do not remove. The system read all the files that are on it. Now in this case, do we want to scan for modules? No, we don't. So we're going to hit the button next to no. We're doing a scripted show, so we're going to select the button next to scripted show. Then what we want to do is we want to load the script. So we're going to press load script. Now it shows us all the displays that are on this USB drive. In this particular case, we want to do our BC July 2nd version 2 StarFire file. So we highlight it by simply going to the next file, so that one is highlighted, and now we're going to select the file. You'll see here it read the script. It says there's 807 script lines loaded. If we go back now, we can actually display the script, and this will actually show us the script itself. You can see the first item shoots at about 11 seconds, and it's a 3-inch red to white strobe shell. What we really want to do is we want to do some of our system checks to make sure that the field is set up properly. So we're going to go back to our main menu, and we want to check continuity. So we're going to press continuity. We're going to look and make sure the field is clear, make sure nobody's over any mortars, just as a safety precaution, and we're going to select continuity. Now the first time we select continuity, it's going to tell us what is good, but we really don't need to know what's good, we need to know what is different than the script. So while it's doing that, we press scripted continuity, and it will continue to go through and give us a status of anything that is unexpected. Okay, so we have one module that has something unexpected. In this particular case, it says that Q2 is open, and it says Q3 is invalid. That's actually on purpose for the demonstration, but what it tells us is it tells us something is connected to Q3 on this particular module, and the script is never going to fire Q3. But Q2 is open, and the script is going to shoot Q2, but there's nothing connected to it. So in this case, it's pretty obvious that somebody put a E-match into Q3 rather than into Q2, which actually we did on purpose. So what we'll do is we will have one of our crew members go change that, and then we will recheck. So in this case, we come over here to module 34. We look, we see that we have an E-match in Q3 rather than Q2, so I'm simply going to pull it out and put it into Q2. So that should fix both of our problems. So now we need to recheck the continuity on that module. Now we have a recheck and a recheck all. Well, we don't need to recheck all of the modules, we only need to recheck the one that's highlighted. So this is another safety feature in that if you had people that were fixing other queues, or you had multiple modules with queues, you can recheck a single module at a time without doing a continuity check on another module where somebody else might be working. So we're going to recheck, and we see that when we hit recheck, now both of those errors are cleared. So you see there's no open and there's no invalids. So now we know we have 100% continuity. If we go back to main menu, we selected continuity again. We want to do scripted continuity. You'll see it comes up and it says all continuity good. Now it didn't recheck continuity then, it knew the continuity was good from memory. But if we wanted to recheck all, we can hit recheck all. It'll go through again, tells you which module it's checking for continuity. Okay, And again, all continuity is good. The next thing we want to do is we want to do what we call module status. So I'm going to press this module status. This kind of gives us an indication of the overall health of the firing system as it's set up. So it tells us the module address, it tells us the serial number of the individual module, it tells us what channel it is actually hooked to, which everything is going to be connected to channel 1 because our radio is connected to channel 1 in this case. It tells us the software version that is in the module. It tells us our input voltage, tells us our firing voltage, and it tells us our script verify if it's good or bad. So in this case, we expect the firing voltage to be 0 because the firing system itself is not armed. The input voltage, we look at this and we want to make sure that we're above 24 volts. In this case, we have small numbers of modules, each connected to an individual power pack, and because of that, the voltages are very, very good. The reason the script verify says bad is because we have not yet programmed our modules. So that's the next step. So we know our voltage is good. We are going to program the modules, so we put the script from the control panel into the modules. So we're going to go back to main menu. We're going to go to our script show. We're going to load script. And in this case, what we want to do is we want to program modules. So what this is going to do is going to take the script we had loaded earlier, and it's going to send that script to each individual modules. So it tells you it's programming module 1, then it goes to module 2. And this process only has to be done one time per show. So once we've done this, even though we'll power down the system, later on we can do what's called a quick restore, and the quick restore will allow us to tell the modules we're using the same script they already know, and they'll come up right away and they will know what script they're supposed to fire. Okay, so now that the modules have all programmed, it tells you 34 of 34 modules have programmed correctly. If for some reason you swapped out a module or changed a module, you have an option to reprogram a single module. You also have the ability, of course, to reprogram them all, but the modules already have the script. If you change a single Q in your entire script, it changes the script and all modules must be reprogrammed. So we're going to go back again, and we are going to go back to the main menu, and we're going to go to module status, and now you will see the script verify is good. So the controller checks with the module, asks it what script it has, it tells it what script it has, and the module determines yes, in fact that is the script you're supposed to have. So that confirms that the modules have been programmed with the correct script for tonight's show. It is based on a signature for that script. So we create a signature which is actually right here in the display for a particular script. And that signature is generated by effectively adding up all of the Qs and other details in the script. So if you change a single Q, the signature will be different. That signature is programmed into the modules when they get programmed, and so what happens when the system asks for module status, it asks what is the script signature that the module contains. If the module's signature agrees with the script signature, then it tells you it's good. If it doesn't, it will tell you that it's bad. Or another scenario is if the modules have been powered down and they're powered back on again, and you have not restored the script to the modules, it won't have any script in it, so the module status will be bad. And so the way you fix that is you simply can go back to the main menu, go to scripted show, you can go to load script, you can say restore script. That will cause all the modules to restore the script that they had in there last. The other thing you can do, if it's safe to do so, as soon as you arm the ARM command is going to tell all the modules to restore the script. And that way, if you had a temporary power loss on a module and it reset because a wire got disconnected and you fixed the wire and powered the module back up, the firing system will tell that module, restore the script if your script signature is this. And as long as the script signature is correct, then the module will restore the script from memory and start shooting the show again. So one other feature that is very helpful in diagnostics is we're going to go to the Tools menu and we're going to go to the Wireless menu. When we go to this menu, what it's going to do is it's going to tell us our actual signal strength to all of the radios that are currently connected. So if you're in an environment that has a lot of interference, a lot of radio noise, this is going to, in a continuous basis, tell us the strength of your signal. Now this is in dB, and what dB is a measure of signal strength, and so you have that in minus. That's basically how much below a perfect signal with zero loss do you have. And so as that number becomes a larger minus number, it's a weaker signal. So in this case, we're in the minus 40s, minus 50s. That is a super strong signal. If this was in the minus 80s, your signal's pretty weak. If this gets into the minus 90s, the signal is so weak that it may not reliably fire. So before you ever shoot your show, you can have a lot of confidence in that your show is going to shoot and going to shoot reliably. It is also showing you that it's polling each of these radios. So it just says, hey, are you there? And what's your signal strength? And when the radio replies, yeah, I'm here and this is my signal strength, it logs it. So if you had a radio environment like you were on a rooftop in a downtown area and there's a cell tower site right there or other high-powered radios that could interfere potentially with like all kinds of different radio systems, you would be able to test in that type of an environment and know well ahead of time, do you have the confidence in being able to shoot the show there? Or are you going to have to make other changes to be able to have a better signal? It can be left on for an extended period of time. Even if you have a packet loss occasionally, the firing system will shoot every single cue. The protocol was designed so there can be some missing messages and the system will still shoot 100% of your show reliably.